Division 2 action now is Michael Yu at the top of the screen. No, that's okay. And Paul Reynolds at the bottom of the screen. Do action. You can see Michael's the front runner in the league at the moment of 21 points. Paul's had a pretty solid start, 13. We're looking at there's a Steel Leaf champion, by the way, one of the new cards. Paul is the one recording, so we're looking at his deck at the moment. And this looks like it could actually be a mono green mirror match, as Michael plays a Reynolds the Indomitable. And we've got matching Steel Leaf champions now. But the beatdown's coming in pretty quickly here. For some reason, I'm not sure why, Paul's recording seems to cut off one of the players, so it's only capturing part of the card for Michael. I don't know why that's happening. And unfortunately for us, that means that we can't actually see the power of these creatures. Llanowar Elves is a 1-1, obviously. That snake, I don't know what that is. A second Steel Leaf champion. But Reynolds the Indomitable is going to be very difficult for a mono green deck to deal with. It's just going to keep coming every turn. Just a sequencing, so he's going to be able to shoot down 2 Llanowar Elves here. But Michael with a ton of power on the board. As Paul's down to 10 already. You can see he's got a Gelter, but I think this one's over. He can fire off a couple of chump blockers. But this is only sort of buying him a turn. Michael's done all the damage, even though he's only got 3 mana. And we're going to go to game 2 pretty quickly. This deck's been pretty popular in the new Dominaria set. I've seen it quite a few times now, actually. I haven't had the chance to look at the professional results, so I'm guessing it's come from somewhere like there. And with the Explore trigger on the stack, Paul just shoots down that Merfolk Branchwalker before it can become a 3-2. His own one unfortunately cannot. Lifecrafter's Bestiary is going to be very good. This card's been around for quite a while. It normally gets played as a sideboard card. Misplay there from Paul tapping his mana, so he doesn't have green available, so Blossoming Defense can't protect anything. You can see Michael's actually got a black source, so that might be important in this one. And again, he can only explore for a basic land. He plays his own Steel Leaf champion again. He doesn't get punished for that mistapping of the mana previously. What is going on here? Okay, this is a pretty aggressive block here from Michael. He's going to Blossoming Defense his own Merfolk Branchwalker so he can take down the Steel Leaf champion. And in response, Paul does it to his own one. So now this looks like it could be going to game 3 pretty quickly. Ripjaw Raptor comes in, draws a card. I mean, Michael's still at 16, so he's still got plenty of time. Nature's Way. What is it? Actually, Nature's Way, I should have got a copy. I don't really know what that does, but we're about to go to game 3 here. Unless Michael's got a Damnation, which is not legal. He does not. So game 3 of Standard. And the green-black versus mono-green. Yeah, I think these decks as well are largely driven by Llanowar Elves, a very popular card. So you can play a 5-4 on turn 2. As an aggressive attack again puts Michael down to 14. Black's going to give him access to cards like Fatal Push. So he plays out a Ripjaw Raptor. Jade Light can explore. What's he going to do with the Sovereign Flagship? He's going to put it in the grave. Llanowar Elves, I think, will go to the grave. Yes. Which one's he going to pump? He wants to keep his Steel Leaf Champion alive. Ripjaw Raptor will draw him a card, but this is quickly swinging now into Paul's favour. He continues to be aggressive with that snake. Okay, it must have had Death Touch because it killed both of them. As the Merfolk Branch Walker comes down. So Michael has actually stabilized a bit here. He's going to be able to pump the Steel Leaf Champion so it can push beyond the other one. Oh, he's going to go to Merfolk Branch Walker. Okay, so he's going to offer up a trade here. Remove one of the blockers of a Ballista. And down to 6 here, Michael just holding on. Ronus is going to buy him a lot of... Oh no, Ronus is not going to be able to block, is it? Because I think it needs a... Scrap Heap Scrounger certainly can't block. I don't know if Ronus can actually block if he doesn't have a creature that's bigger than 5. No, so he can't. So he goes down to 4. Both these players going to plane off the top of their deck. A second Ronus? Not sure what that was about. Oh, okay, he's using Reynolds to pump the Scrap Heap Scrounger. So yeah, this is a bit frustrating without the bottom half of the cards. You can see Paul's actually dead here. Any sort of removal spell and Paul is dead. 4 and 2, so what a tense finish. He's going to have to use that Kenra to chump block the Ronus. Okay, he's going to force the block here. So this has to give up Llanowar Elves. Now, if Michael can top deck... Oh, he misplayed. He forgot about the Scrounger in the graveyard. And Paul's going to concede. So Michael takes standard 2-1. What a finish. And now on to Modern, where we see this pet deck of Paul's, his Time Warp deck. His Taking Turns deck, I should say, sorry. Michael, on the other hand, I don't know what he is on. We haven't seen him in action. Michael has actually played 2 or 3 seasons and consistently appeared in the playoffs in Division 2. Then he took a season off for work reasons. Okay, so he's on, we saw the Archfiend of Ifna. This is a, what's the word, Living End deck. So Fulminator Mage is going to do some work here, but not this particular Fulminator Mage because it's going to get countered. Yeah, Michael was a regular in the Division 2 playoffs, and he took a season off for work reasons, and now he's come back. We see this Avalanche Riders. This is a pretty cool card. I believe it's Pauper legal when it comes in. Here it is here. Destroy target land. At the beginning of your upkeep, if this comes, you can pay its echo cost or it dies. So I'm guessing with Living End, he's not going to pay its echo cost, and then cast Living End to get it back, and get likewise with the Fulminator Mage. It's currently sitting in the grave. Get that back as well, and destroy a whole ton of lands. But first, before he does that, he needs to find something like a Violent Outburst that he can use to... I think he's going to go off here. Cycle the Ceradon. Cycle another Ceradon, and now Outburst. Yep. So that's the combo right there. Violent Outburst, Cascade until you find something that costs less than 3. Living End's the only thing in the deck that costs that. So he's going to bring all those creatures from the grave back. You look at them all. Going to blow up 2 lands because of the Avalanche Rider and the Fulminator Mage. And he's got, what's that, 25 power on the board. So we're going to a game 2 very quickly here. Geiger Jars is going to buy him some turns, tapping down some threats. And here's Michael Hard casting Archfiend of Ifna. And Paul's seen enough, so we're going to game 2. And the cycling begins immediately. So in between the cycling and the extra card draws that Paul's going to give him, Michael's going to look at a ton of cards. Well, there's Hero of Dominaria, Teferi appearing in Modern. So we've got 2 cards there already in the grave. Fulminator Mage is going to blow something up. Prairie Stream, probably. Pollen Lullaby. What does this do? Oh, okay, so he's just a mana efficient, uses it to crack his elixir. Here's Avalanche Riders to blow up another land. And the land destruction is really getting on top of Paul now. Here comes he shows a violent outburst. That's enough. So we're going to Legacy. Again, Paul playing his pet deck in Legacy. Well, I think he's. We can see Michael here on land. So the idea here is to get the Thespian stage with the Dark Depths, create a 20/20 Merit Large, and just swing in. He's got this Limdul's Vault we'll have a look at. And here's Molten Vortex. You don't see this too much in Legacy. But main deck and lands, it's an interesting one. It comes out of Magic Origins. Pay 1 red, discard a land card, and it does 2 damage. Good value for only 1 mana. And there's the second piece of the puzzle, so he can go off now, actually, next turn. So Paul needs an answer right now. He's going to brainstorm, see what he can find. Doesn't look like anything there. And here's Limdul's Vault. He's going to look at 5 cards. And he can repeat and pay 1 life to look at the next 5 cards, and he can just keep doing this over and over again, putting whatever one he wants on the bottom. So it's just a scrying effect for 1 life, very powerful. I think he's just going through thinking, what can I possibly have that can stop this? He doesn't have anything, so we're going to game 2. The reason he concedes there is because at the end of the turn, Michael can just pay the 2 mana to copy the Dark Depths and get the 20/20 and then swing for the 20 next turn. So from what I've seen of Paul's deck here, this is just a really bad matchup for him. Stifle is a very good card because he can buy him. I mean, when I say good card, I mean relative to what he's got. because he can buy himself a turn, because you can see here Dark Depths and Thespian Stage. Michael's got the combo already, but he's going to be able to stifle that combo. Thoughtseize is not as good here because, I mean, or Croson Grip, I think you take the Trinisphere. He took crop rotation. I don't think he needs the crop rotation because he's already got the pieces that he requires, the Dark Depths and the Thespian Stage. So now we're going to watch Michael do his thing. He can stifle this trigger, and he's going to stifle the Dark Depths trigger. So now that makes sense. The reason why he took the other crop rotation. But he's seen enough and he's going to concede, so Michael takes Legacy 2 games to 0.